Everything new. Everything new. I love this song by Daniel Naimad. In it, he says, "Are you ready for the next thing to do? It's going to be everything new." So, this is my question. Are you ready for the next thing to do? And if you are, then I invite you to repeat after me. Bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. Now, here's a question for you. Did you say that out loud? See, this whole year has been about living out loud. And this month, living is wholeness. And this week, a wholeness resolution. So, did you say it out loud? And if you didn't, I'm going to give you one more chance. How's this? Bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. See, we're about this wholeness revolution and the wholeness resolution. A revolution is a revolution, is a resolution. All right, so this is what this wholeness resolution might look like. Every day this year, no matter what the circumstances, I choose to feel blessed, to be a blessing for others, and allow wholeness to be the lens through which I view my life and the world. How about that for a resolution? Or perhaps we could use the affirmation for this week. I am made in the image of the divine, and I recognize this goodness in others. Or maybe the one from last month. I open myself to the adventure of finding the sacred in the unexpected. In her book, Out of the Ordinary, Joyce Rupp writes this: this new year, we can have some fun with the usual resolutions we make for living better. And we can go deeper. We can resolve to live a life with wholeness, to live with freedom from attachment, to live wisely with humility, justly with compassion, lovingly with fidelity, and gratefully with generosity. We can hold this vision and daily renew it in our hearts. Or maybe you're like me. I just sometimes don't make resolutions. And maybe this year I'll live my life in the now, releasing both the past and the future. Whether or not you make resolutions doesn't make any difference. You're already perfect. You are the perfect you, complete, perfect, and whole. So can you resolve to be more complete, perfect, and whole? Or you can resolve to express that completeness, that wholeness, that perfection. Ernest Holmes writes, "The spark which burns at the center of our own soul is caught from the living and the eternal flame of spirit." And so our charge then is to recognize and nurture and express the divine spark of wholeness. And we kindle this flame by living from our own divine center, recognizing it in others, working for it in our community and the world, and looking to the great way showers to inspire and guide us. In this, the universe knows us, recognizes us as whole. And so as we begin this new year, a chapter in our lives, or any new day, as we begin any new day, any new month, any new week, anything new, any new moment, it's empowering to know that the most important impress on our life is our awareness of the divine presence. That divine presence is in all things. And that goodness is ever available to us, seeking to touch our lives in subtle and overt ways. And in this, we can truly find meaning if we're living mindfully. With or without resolutions, we can hold our treasures, the relationships and acts of generosity, as the foundation for the things we want to manifest. And so this year, I invite you to consciously choose each day what we hold as precious. And let's carry peace within ourselves and share it with others. And as we begin to do this, let's just take a moment to look back on the year we just completed and give thanks for all of it, the good we experience, and those things which we wouldn't necessarily call good. So be grateful for it all, the blessings and the learning. So let's try an experiment together. I'm going to ask you to write something in the chat about an experience that you're grateful for in the past year. For example, I'm grateful for the unexpected discovery of a little hotel on a pond in Michigan. It was unexpected, it was beautiful, it was peaceful, it was a treasure. And I'm also grateful for the difficulty I had in getting into the back seat of our van because it meant we got a new car. So, what I'm going to ask you to do now is to put those things that you might be grateful for in the chat. Because only as we have reconciled and befriended every aspect of the past year are we in good stead to accept the blessings of what's coming. As we give thanks, we receive more. As we give thanks for that good, as we come to the new awareness of that good, it returns to us. So no matter the troubles we face, we always have an infinite opportunity to see them rightly and experience a healing. For example, when we first moved to Austin 30 years ago, I totaled our car. Well, it's a longer story than that, but the short version, I totaled the car. And I was a brand new, shiny practitioner at the time. So, following my training, my first thought was, I wonder what good is going to come from this. And it's all in the attitude. I didn't say, oh, I wonder what good is going to come from this. I was excited. It's like, surely this is going to bring about something wonderful. It's all in the attitude. And, I have a list of so many good things that came out of that totaling the car, not the least of which was getting a new car. It all depends on how we look at these things. The story today, the view of the whole planet Earth from space symbolizes a birth of consciousness. Astronauts were transformed as they gazed upon the planet from this new perspective. And if you remember, the picture of that blue marble in space reminds us that we have one incredible planet to care for, and it reminds us that life is a unity. Rusty Schreiert became an astronaut in 1963 and served as the lunar module pilot for Apollo 9. As he circled the globe, identifying places like Los Angeles, Houston, North Africa, his process of identifying the world began to shift. He said, you can't begin to recognize that your identity is with the whole thing. You look down and can't imagine how many borders you cross, and you don't even see them. People are killing each other over some imaginary line, but you see it as a whole, and it's so beautiful. And you wish you could take individuals from each side in various conflicts, one in each hand, and say, look at it from this perspective. What's important? Then, in doing a spacewalk and being in that incredible silence and beauty, I felt like I was a sensing point for humankind. And I recognized that we are all a piece of this total life. We're all a piece of this total life. And we're naturally, irresistibly drawn to wholeness. Oh, there is something within us that yearns to discover that which makes us whole. To realize the peace and joy that we inherently know is ours by divine birthright. And the key to living wholly is in the realm of consciousness. The life of wholeness flows through our experience only because it first flows through our consciousness. And spiritual consciousness is attained through practicing truth. Oh, I'm so grateful for all of the information that we have here in our chat. Grateful I've been divinely protected. Grateful to have finished ministerial school. Grateful for foot surgery to remove a neuroma, can stand and walk without pain. I'm grateful for the new position I have at my job. I'm so grateful. Grateful for my broken foot. I'm grateful that my heart started back up when it stopped. And I'm grateful that he got help when needed. And I'm grateful that an insensitive comment led me to face pain from childhood and heal the inner child. So there is so much to be grateful for. We have so much to be grateful for. And you can see by the comments, it's all in consciousness. It's all in the attitude. Eric Butterworth in Creative Life writes, "You are a perfect idea in infinite mind. You are whole now. This wholeness is the only way the universe knows you. The only way the universe knows you is as wholeness." Just imagine that wholeness of the blue marble in space. No borders, no problems, no issues. It's perfect, whole, and complete. So our wholeness, our sense of wholeness often has to do with our expectations. And our expectations have to do with our desires. And on the deepest, deepest level, what if our desires are actually our yearning to experience the qualities of God in our life? What if those desires are the yearning to experience love, joy? So we know deep within us is pure wholeness, and we want to feel that. It's what Joseph Campbell called the rapture of being alive. Anyhow, so we have expectations, and when they're not met, we feel incomplete. Feels like disappointment or anger. But the more we're aware of the expectation behind the anger, the healthier the emotion is in our life, and the better chance we have of learning from it, blessing it, releasing it. In our new year, we can choose to release our beliefs and actions that keep us stilted, and those ideas about ourselves and life that inhibit us from living the fulfilled life that divine desires for us. Maybe that might inhibit us from just being out loud. So, how about we give this a shot now? If we were together, we would do maybe a burning bowl ceremony when we brought pieces of flash paper and wrote on them what we wanted to release, and we would release it. We would burn it. We would see it go up in flames. But we're not together in that physical way. We are together in spirit. We are together in consciousness. And actually, we know that there's no power actually in that ritual. It's the way that we center our mind and focus on a particular purpose. So whether or not we have fire and flame and flash paper, it really doesn't matter. That is a visual representation. That ceremony is an external, tangible expression of a process that we do mentally and how it affects us spiritually. And that ritual helps us align our thinking and feeling, which is necessary for this creative process to happen. So let's just take a moment now to practice part of that burning bowl ceremony without the burning and without the bowl, without the flash paper. So let's just take a moment, if you will, let's take a exhale, letting go. And then a deep cleansing breath, bringing in that fresh, new breath. And one more time with an exhale, letting go. And breathing in again deeply, centering in this moment. Let's take a moment to vision what you want in your life. What would it take for you to get to the end of 2024, review it, and then feel completely fulfilled and satisfied? What would that look like? what might be ideal, or what would perfect look and feel like. And just take a moment to put yourself in the middle of that vision. Imagine a year from now. You review that year and feel completely fulfilled and satisfied. Just get clear with it. Sit in the glory of what you've accomplished. Just feel that gratitude, ownership, and enjoy the freedom that realizing this level of good as complete and in your life now. Enjoy the freedom these realizations give you on a daily basis. Take a moment to feel the clarity and the purpose and the energy of embodying this vision. And whatever that is, whatever you're doing in your successful vision, it's the best way to spend your time, energy, and attention this year. And so when you find yourself wondering what to do next, remember that vision. Get busy doing that, imagining that, ruminating on that, knowing and feeling. And then take a moment when you think about this vision, this bliss and empowering identity. What's the first thing that comes to mind that is standing in your way? What limiting beliefs give you hesitation or try to talk you out of it? You don't judge yourself on this. Don't just jump to the habitual answers. See if there's something deeper under there. And be open, honest. It's just you. And objectively observe what comes to mind. I have to ask myself, what within me will have to change in order to make room for this new good? What ideas have I habitually entertained that I must now shift so I can be this new vision, this new expansive idea of myself? And as I release, I'm reminded of the Buddhist sand mandalas. Oh, they spend hours. They're so beautiful, creative, and then they're destroyed simply by blowing on them, whisking them away. but they're destroyed to release the fascination and attachment with the form and allow the energy of the idea be released and take a new form. And so today, if you're willing, let us give up this lesser idea of ourselves to make room for the greater. So I invite you to take this opportunity to release some stuff. Fear, unworthiness, self-limiting ideas in any shape or form. And no matter how long it's been around or how comfortable it is, I'm ready to release. And I know that it can go as soon as I decide to leave it behind. And so think about one idea or maybe a few ideas that are all mixed up there together. That if your consciousness were completely free of it, you would absolutely know that you would be finally, truly, fully liberated and your life would change dramatically. Because when you find it, when you label it, when you name it, you're regaining the power it has claimed and restricted. And true change takes more than one decision, one time. It takes vigilance, purposeful, ongoing work, and it's worth it. So just imagine again that, well, like the space shuttle, it may take what seems like massive action and energy to attention in the beginning to get off the ground, to achieve flight, to break free of the gravitational pull. But once you're there, you're free. You just need to keep nudging yourself, course correcting, and move your energy in the new direction. So take a moment now to feel the freedom, the empowerment of moving into worthiness, strength, clarity. It's a journey. There's always another level to reveal and understand and experience. Another level to expand and to keep expanding into. The vision is to remind you, and it's only your vision, it's only for you, this is a personal vision, that you are divine, limitless, creative, powerful expression of spirit, and that you can revisit this vision with the freedom to revel in all its richness anytime. And now you're free to imagine this new idea about yourself and life in bigger and bolder ways. And now you're free to open and expand your imagination in this area, in every area of your life. Now you're free to allow this greatness to enter and enrich the world by means of you. Now we are free to allow this greatness to express through us unimpeded. So with one more breath, let us tuck that vision away in our hearts where we can reference it anytime, knowing that we are free to experience it. It is ours. We own it. And with great gratitude, let us seal it by saying together, and so it is. So you know how sometimes we're just a little timid about letting our music out? Just a little shy about being magnificent? So we do those little mediocre things to blend in with the rest of humanity? Let's stop that. Message to self. Let's rise up and understand that our destiny, it is our destiny to live a life of wholeness, to reveal the kingdom of the divine. And as we're carrying out our resolve, our promises for the year, let's mindfully know that love, poise, and power of the divine is more authentic than our illusions of limitations. We are one with that same power that created the cosmos, the same life energy that's made all things lovely and elegant. That It's our divine heritage. And that is the reality of our yet to be's this coming year. It is Spirit's great desire to give us the kingdom, to give us a life of wholeness. And we're created in the full expression of life and power that created the universe. And we have been given the depth of heart and the tools to elevate our awareness to a level of whole life. My charge, our charge, is to do the work, to cultivate the perception of oneness through our prayers and meditation, to exercise ownership by living mindfully, and to look at our expectations, understanding what are we truly seeking. Every person represents an individualization of universal wholeness. Ernest Holmes tells us the love, peace, joy, and freedom of spirit, the power of the spirit expresses through every atom of our being now, this moment. And so let us take this thought into our brief treatment today. Just knowing, recognizing the power of the presence, infinite source. Knowing that we are one in that as that it moves in and through us, as us, and for us in each moment. I give thanks. I give thanks for the ability to let go, to release. I give thanks for the ability to imagine, to create. And so today, I vow to be that individualization of spirit, that vessel of spirit that recognizes the wholeness, the completeness, the wonder of life in every moment, the divine. I let that be. I rest in the knowing that it is already done in mind. I invite you to join me as together we affirm, and so it is.